Most of us feel discomfort when we think about pedophiles. But just like pedophiles, we are not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them, but we are responsible for our actions. And we must make a decision. It is on our responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles and to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with. We should accept that pedophiles are people who have not chosen their sexuality and who, unlike most of us, will never be able to live it out freely if they want to lead an upright life. We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference. Yes, from an emotional point of view, I can kind of understand that you would want to eliminate these people from society. However, it doesn't make sense. And that's because we're talking about biology. We're talking about a sexual orientation, something that we simply cannot change. And on top of that, every day, new people are born with the same difficulty. So it's not practical to eliminate these people from society. They haven't done anything wrong. Most of us feel discomfort when we think about. You heard it from the devil themselves. The next stage of this whole madness, this confused land, all right, Babylon, is this: the acceptance of the PDF files. All right, that's the next step. This is why I had the video too. It was post Pam Bondi, the same bitch, and somebody else that made a statement. It said, if they go after everybody that was in that island, the whole system will collapse. So what's the next big thing to take place? The acceptance. Right in your face. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters is out there. This is, it says like foreigners from seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. The Israelite foreigners, Shalom, right? That look like the other nations. And it's right here. It says this was the goal the whole time. That's exactly what it was. What if unaliving commies was another sexual orientation too? Good. That's a good point. It says women, always women. She should have been booed off the stage. But why was she? I believe one of them, the second one, I believe that was old. I don't know about the first one. This first one right here. So these things are being acceptable, so that way they can enforce to make it acceptable. So this whole stink of pedophiles will be nothing. Like, so what if Trump and them do this? So what if the Republicans and Democrats do this? Why do you think Trump said to the DOJ, the Department of the Justice, we're moving on, roughly paraphrasing it. It says the time for the warm embrace of the wood chipper. So you want normalizing every kind of crime. That's what it is. That's what when they asked what's his Pan Bondi, they asked her, did you arrest anybody? Who else is getting arrested? And they realized no one else. All right, all that shit was a dog and pony show.
All of it. When people accepted those alphabet individuals, which was um, deeply, deeply insane, this was it. Because under this whole banner is going to be bestiality. Everything Esau likened to do, every single thing that Esau accepts is is going to be normalized. All right. The things that he does in the dark is being normalized. So if they pushing all this shit out, then there's no limit. There's no limit to this wickedness. This place has to go. Real quick, Isaiah 20, I did that one too. Isaiah 29 and 15 says, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord." This was not a original idea. This wasn't a thing where um it's overnight. Nah, like the guys put it, that was the plan all along. That was the whole idea what to do all along. And since they had this plan going in this motion in this secret meetings, the secret is out. Is out in the forefront because this is the desire of the elites. This is why you have what you call it, your top governors, top uh, political figure, celebrities, people that you adore. They're all into this shit. All right, eating flesh, defecating on one another, eating children, into beasts. All right, into children, being with one another. There's no limit to their wickedness. There's no limit to the shame of Esau. So what they was doing in the dark is being let out in the light, and they're making it normal. It says, "For the Lord and the works and their works are in the dark, and they say, Who seeth us? Who knoweth us?" It says, "Surely a turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as a potter's clay." We went from a nation, well, supposed to be a nation, a Christian nation, that believe in God and sanctuary of the family and all this other stuff. But look how easy acceptable this thing is. Look how they made it cool to be this way. All right. When I was growing up, you always see the thing is people don't like, but we come from a different world. When I was growing up, that shit was not accepted, not acceptable. That shit was kept in the closet. Those that older generations, same thing. As the time goes by, people get weaker and weaker, and then the plan out. They was pushing drugs. They was pushing jail culture, hip hop culture. All right, people going in and out of jail as if that was a popular thing. What do you think happens in jail? All right, all of that shit was taking place in order to bring this upside down world to life. And it says, "Surely, let me say, shall the, I'm sorry, surely your turning of things upside down should be as esteemed as the potter's clay. But shall the work say of him that worked, that made it, he made me not?" So the Lord created this man to do this. All right. Esau was put on earth to bring the madness. You're talking about the macho madness? Nah, the madness that's being accepted. So, yeah, it's no wonder that this is happening the way it's happening. All right? This is the last this is the last of it. This is the last of it. What are you gonna do to somebody that's so-called mental, all right? Just because they're attracted to something like that, you can't take them out. You have to accept them. They made a big deal here in New York City, and was it West Village, where they used to have all those motherfuckers. You wanted to know where I was at in New York? It was in the village in the city, and then in the village in the city, that shit that was a spot. But in normal boroughs, your normal areas, none of that existed. Well, they existed, but it wasn't flamboyant like it was over there. So they took down the flag and made a big deal about them taking out that special people's flag. Somebody took it down, and then all of a sudden those moles and they put it back up. They was cheering it on. See, they cheered this shit on because they all love the wickedness that's being pushed out there. So all these mother effers are guilty. They're all part of the problem. And it's the same reason why Yahweh Bashim Yashai took down, which I want to get it, um, 2 Peter 2 and 6. It says, "It turned the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes." What was happening in Sodom and Gomorrah? We already knew when you read the story, Genesis, the 11th chapter, angels of the Lord came down to spy out the land. Like, we heard this wicked place that the Lord had established. Let's go out there and see it. Let's see for ourselves, right? And what did they do? They saw it. They were disgusted by it. They got Lot and his family out of there, and they, they gave the order to nuke it. All right, with fire and brimstone. It says, into ashes, and condemning them with an overthrow, making them an example to those that afterward should live ungodly. So that was created to be an example. All right, well, how not to be. And here it is, America doing the same goddamn thing. Doing the same thing, just like the failed system that came before them. And all this shit was acceptable. And they slowly getting everybody. Everybody's upset, arms, but nobody have done nothing. So if you about that life, why nobody done nothing about it? Why all of a sudden? Because that's how you know the MAGA movements. They're nothing but fucking zombies. All right, they just zombies. When this, I'm going back to what Alice Skull and Bones had said, right? When the whole was it the email? And it was something about, yeah, it was an email or a text that they had got, and they said in the email or the text that Trump sucked off Bubba. I believe it was Epstein's brother. I said, "You still got that picture of Trump sucking off Bubba?" And it came to find out Bubba was just a nickname for a particular president. So Alex Skull and Bones made a statement. I wish I could find it, but I'm not going to dig into it. He made a statement of, so what if they had video of him doing something? It's not like he's not trying to prevent World War III. Right then and there, you know, he been compromised, but that was just to add the equation of how diabolical and evil these people are. And the following that this guy has gotten for himself. All right. Yeah, a lot of times we used to reference Alice Skull and Bone because why? He was saying some truth. But now that the things are the team that he decided to be with is losing, he has no problem. So all these people will follow this current administration. All right. And they'll follow them, they follow them to a T, and they'll do whatever they want. And this is why they could have the dog and pony show of them trying to bring in justice and fighting for justice and all this other shit. But the Democrats are guilty as well because the Democrats, they themselves had this list and they did nothing about it. I just want to bring that out. So reading this again, it says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah to ashes and condemning them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that afterwards shall live ungodly. And delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. So Lot wasn't moaning and groaning and being pissed off about um, the Lord taking down that place. He was pissed. He was pissed off because he was hearing, he was seeing all the wickedness is taking place, just like the righteous here in America. And it says, for that righteous man dwelling among them and seeing and hearing vex his righteous soul from the day to day with their unlawful deeds. And part of their unlawful deeds had to deal with their sexual preferences, which was evil. All right. Hey, that was part of the Roman Empire. What's happening? That whole stench, that pedo stench, that was part of the Roman Empire. All right. That's why the Roman Empire. Let me see. Second, no, First Corinthians 6:9. It says, "Know you not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor adulterers, nor adulterers, meaning sleeping with married women. Okay, those idolatry, worshiping of different gods, fornication, there's all this different religion. Okay, it says no effeminate. All right, when you go into the word effeminate, is malakos, which means soft to touch, metaphorically in a bad sense, effeminate of a catamite. It says of a boy kept for homosexual relations with a man. And that's what this whole thing is about. And now look how they trying to sneak this thing in to be accepted. It says of a male who submit his body to unnatural lewdness of a male prostitute. So they're prostituting, now it's coming to fruition that they're prostituting all the people, they're prostituting them out. All right. It says, no abuses of themselves with mankind. So why would it say all of this lovely, I mean, lovely, all this a plethora of things not to do, because that's not the way of the kingdom of the Most High. That's not the way of the Lord. This is the way of the world, and you see how the world is accepting this. Soon it will be accepted. All right, and when the right people is doing it, I mean, I didn't say white people. No. The right people, right personnel are doing it. They have the rest of the people follow. Matter of fact, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 10 and 2. It says, As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So they're making a big stink about the emails and 300, I was saying 300, 6 million emails or evidence, whatever, and they only allow three of them, one for each side. One right now, the Democrats, majority of them, they being exposed, and the Republicans are sitting back and trying to judge the matter, but they all guilty. You people are going to realize that your leaders, people that you look up to, that you vote for, are nothing but sick ass pedos. All right, they're monsters among the people, and since they influence the state of the world, the state of the same places that we all dwell in. A lot of people are going to accept it. All right, don't be surprised if you hear a lot of people doing these things and not get arrested. Hey, if the leaders are not getting arrested, how? Why would you know what I'm saying? Think about it. And this is exactly what's going on. See, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is exposing this place on the highest level. The corruption is astronomical. All right. Babylon the Great is that spot, is that place. It says Revelation 6:18. Was it so I can remember 18:18, I believe? No. Revelations 18 and there it is, 13. This is what is found in America. All right. It says in cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil, fine linen and wheat, beasts and sheep and horses and chariots, slaves and souls of men. And who are this? It's just not talking about Negroes that came in the conversation. It's talking to this day, the biggest slavery is here in America. All right. To this day, they snatching up people and throwing them into concentration camps. Before they threw them in concentration camps, they did all these other things. And on top of all that, all right, children are constantly missing. All right. A lot of them unaccounted for. Now they have the world looking at this direction, which is the whole Epstein thing. Was it a year ago or 2 years ago? Was whole the Diddy thing, the Diggler? It was last year, and yet there's still no justice. So how much other children are being missing right now? How many other shit? Not only children, adults, adult women, adult men. All right, and then you have and I was supposed to do that one too. Oh well. Yeah, some model from Brazil. She was going ape shit because why? She said they eating humans. They eating people. All right. So you have cannibalism. We are in utter hell. All brought to you by these sort of so-called white man. That's what's that's who rules this world. So the people are sick, and that sickness is good. And then look, when they want to punish a man for having multiple wives, but they don't punish these individuals. Why? Because the people that's in position of power conduct themselves this way. So this is all out of whack. This is Babylon. All right. Isaiah 19 and 14. It says, The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. So he mingled, put this perverseness in this land. So the Lord can judge this place. It says, in the midst thereof, and cause Egypt to earn every work thereof, as a drunken man starting of his vomit. So the Lord has allowed this wickedness to display in this place. This why? Because America is the land that's going to be wiped out. Ultimately, this place is going to be the new Sodom and Gomorrah, which it is, but it's going to get the same results that Sodom and Gomorrah of the past have received. So if Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed by fire and brimstones, which was nukes before it was called nukes, then this place is the same damn thing. All right. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. I'm gonna end it off of here. Jeremiah 49. Is it 49? It says it too, right? Or was it 50? Huh. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Oh, I'm in Isaiah. That's why it looks so strange. Jeremiah 49, and it tells you, well, actually, no, there it is. Jeremiah 49 and 18, as the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. So the same way Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, same way America's going to be wiped out. But be the biggest desert on the planet Earth. With that being said, shalom to the elected of the nation Israel. Shalom.